This is Real Appalachia with Shane.
And Melody.
And we are going to do something and answer a question once and for all. I'm going to put Melody on the spot, and she's going to tell us all what a holler is.
Yes. What is a holler?
Are you up for this challenge?
I am. You guys asked. We're here with your answer. If you like this video, give us the thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our videos, including all of our holler videos.
Let's give you a little sneak preview of this particular holler.
Yes.
I took a great picture from here, bragging on myself, I guess, and it did great.
It's beautiful.
The holler did all the work, wasn't it?
And you can, I'm going to tell you what a holler is, but you can see perfectly here how it sits in the valley. And we're going to get into more of that here in just a minute.
Sounds good. Let's get on the road. What do you say?
All right.
Well, we're on the road here, and we thought it's high time we answered the question that is burning on so many minds.
What is a holler?
What is a holler?
What is a holler, Shane?
You tell us, Melody.
Of course you put me on the spot.
No, we'll
a holler is a hollow,
yes,
as known in other parts of the country.
We spell it H-O-L-L-E-R.
Yes.
But they spell it
H-O-L-L-O-W.
Yes.
But it's the same thing. It's just our pronunciation is different.
Yeah.
As holler.
And we spell it the way we hear it.
Yes. And it's basically a road and homes in a valley between two mountains.
Yes.
There's usually some water running through it.
And if you look to your left,
yes,
you'll see that there's a little creek, or crick, as some people call them. I always call it creek.
I always call it creek too, but yeah, I guess some people say creek.
Yes.
Usually very narrow, like this one.
Just like this one.
If you met somebody, it would be very hard to pass, and you're about to see that now.
Yep, I'll have to pull over and wave. That's exactly what I plan on doing. Well, I guess they're pulling over and waving. They beat me to it. They're friendlier than me. And you better wave.
Yeah, you just wave to everybody. You're all right there.
This one is neat because it back across the creek.
Yeah,
you don't
it's
see that very
interesting.
often, yeah.
No, you don't, because they're usually pretty low maintenance.
Yeah.
A holler also used to be their own little communities back when the coal boom was really going on and these areas were a lot more populated. Sometimes the hollers had their own schools, had their own churches. A lot of them still have their own churches. It's been maintained.
Yeah.
You
always start when you enter one. It's called the mouth of the holler.
Yes.
And as you go up here, you'll notice it gets more and more sparsely populated and spread out. Well, there's another one of the musks. There's people raising chickens over there, so that's one of the telltales. But as you get up here, it gets more and more spread out and sparsely populated. And frankly, it can get more dangerous because they're not as used to seeing unusual traffic. Yeah,
there might just be one or two houses up there, and a lot of times people in hollers are related, so if you're not recognized, then they don't know what you're doing up there.
Yeah, you don't really sneak up on anybody in a holler, that's for sure.
Nope.
There's eyes on you, for sure.
Yes.
But it's a great place to, like you said too, if a lot of times they were built in conjunction with coal, but in other cases there was just a family owned a bunch of land, and and down the line a bunch of kinfolk got together.
Yes, exactly. So. And back in the coal company towns with the hollers, they would actually separate them up by race, ethnicity. I can't talk. It's been a long day.
It has been a long day.
You can see it's getting dark. But yeah, so they would have like a Hungarian holler and an Italian holler. And
yeah, there's one up there I saw in Red Jacket, West Virginia. It's Little Italy. And it's just funny to think of all the ethnicities that came together and formed a lot of these hollers. And then,
And we've seen some that the holler names still kind of correspond with that. Like you see a last name and you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds like an Italian last name.
Yeah. For sure. So this is a nice little holler. This is, I mean, every time we do this, there's always somebody, why, that's got a fire hydrant and it's a paved road and all that stuff. Well, that doesn't make it any less of a holler. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, most roads are paved now.
Yeah. And if it is, frankly, if they're not paved, they're a little bit more dangerous because there's so few people there.
Exactly, yeah. I think that there's some kind of stipulation, like if more than X number of people live on a road, they keep it paved.
Yeah, and we enjoy we enjoy entertaining you folks, but we also don't want to put our lives on the line if it.
Exactly.
Well, and to make people unnerved. I don't know. We're not coming out here to try to make people on edge or anything else.
No, nothing like that.
That's a pretty
You
long
see
haul.
one up there, you see a lot of times cemetery, graveyard.
Oh yeah, definitely cemetery, and then you got just there's certain things like as we saw as we come up through here too, varying conditions of houses. You know,
Yes.
a lot of times some of them are great, and one right beside it can be burnt down, and the next, you know, that's just the way it is.
And
It's not me.
Shane, you have a checklist of things that you usually see on in a holler, right?
Oh yeah.
You said the chickens.
The chickens, and now somebody pointed us out, and I noticed it the last few times we've gone in them. I used to say people raising chickens, but now a lot of times you'll see those chickens in the road.
Yeah, a lot of times you do, yeah.
And then the dog almost always one laying in the middle of the road like it owns the place.
Yeah. I always say some kind of camper RV parked on the side of the road. I haven't seen the dog or the camper up this one yet.
As soon as I started mentioning it and noticing it, I haven't seen a dog in the middle of the road since.
That's so funny. But you always see people have dogs outside.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I guess most people do have dogs, so.
I mean, this is getting to the point where we probably won't turn around.
Yes.
You can just get that feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it starts narrowing down.
It's narrowing down, it's getting more rural back here, and we may go a little bit around the bend here, but we may take you right back out too. But
Yeah.
these holler videos, I've been surprised how popular they are, but then after I realized that, it was like, well, no, it doesn't surprise me at all, really.
Yeah,
Different way of life.
and I noticed a lot of people ask, well, what is a holler anyway? So now we are telling you. I know you mentioned about the mouth of the holler. Did you mention the head of the
No, I
holler?
didn't get to that point.
Okay.
I'm good for that, aren't I? Get started, got sidetracked.
That's okay.
Shake. I'm going to take a picture of your sea Daddy.
Okay.
We have a little helper today.
So we got a third wheel.
But the house at the top, the end of the holler is the head of the holler.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got the mouth of the holler and the head of the holler.
And I don't know who come up with those terms. They're not like official in the encyclopedia, are they?
But it's well known.
Everywhere you go, everybody knows them and calls them the exact same thing.
Yep.
And that was before the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Just was just that way, but
A lot of people have said they thought that a holler, it was called a holler because people would holler back and forth at each other.
and I've heard that it has got really good acoustics for that because it's kind of down, like you said, down the valley.
Mm-hmm.
And
And a lot of times they were like related or whatever.
yeah,
But no, it's actually a hollow, and we'll talk about language sometime, the Appalachian dialect, but it's just that we make those sounds as ER or holler.
oh yeah. And I'm glad I like it better that way.
Me too.
Maybe it's because I was raised that way, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But every time we call that, no, it's not holler, it's hollow. Well, maybe we really live.
It's a holler to us.
It's a holler to us. Do you go to England and tell them that it's not a buggy, it's a, whatever. It's no, you just conform to the local customs and
Say cheese, Daddy.
cheese.
Look, you have to say cheese again.
On
cheese.
camera.
Yeah, I guess she's taking a picture. Behind the scenes
Say
camera.
cheese, Meow
Cheese.
So what we did.
Okay. Can you say holler, Kennedy?
Hollow.
Hollow. She said hollow.
She said, well,
Get the camera off me.
I think this is where it splits, and I'm gonna turn around.
Ow. Show.
Okay.
Show.
This one kind of branches off. A lot of them don't. A lot of them are just one road. Yeah.
We're gonna wind up through the mountain,
What are we doing?
going back to the road.
Going back out to the mouth of the holler.
Yep, that's right. And I guarantee you somebody's took note that we're up here.
Yo, yeah. See that no one repays anyone evil.
The Bible verse wasn't it up there?
Yeah, it was a Bible verse on a tree on a sign.
Pretty neat. I like that old cabin there. That's neat.
This is very pretty. I like that little.
This is a
Bridge
good
of
example
water.
of holler, and
It is a
nice
good
one,
example. Yeah.
You know, I've felt much more endangered than other ones.
Yeah.
But generally, the more populated they are, the safer you are.
Yeah. And it's not that our area, Appalachia, is that dangerous or anything. It's just, I mean, it's just like in the city, if you have a building that you live in that you have to be buzzed up and you see somebody strange lurking around, you have some questions.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, it makes it sound like we're out here and surviving in the wilds.
Yeah.
It's not like most people friendly as can be. You know, if your
Exactly.
intentions are good and you're here with respect, then you won't have hardly any problems. Very seldom.
Exactly right.
Certainly no more so than you would anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, you go back in here and you're the wrong race or, wrong out-of-state tag or anything else. You're going to have a problem. No, a lot depends on you as an individual.
Yes, and your intentions.
And your intentions and how you approach things.
Getting to be spring. Everything's looking pretty and green. I'm seeing some flowering trees bloom. It's pretty.
Lucky we didn't pass any cars right through here. Look how tight this is.
I know, yeah.
I don't know where
But usually you can see pretty far down they would have had a driveway to pull into or something.
Yeah.
This is a little windy one.
Yeah, I can see that being a little rough in the winter, some ice and stuff.
Most of them are, though.
Yeah. Okie dokie, so we're getting there. I was hoping to see a chicken or dog in the road. Every time I brag about, like, my little checklist, half of it gets missed. I'm going to start making a point system for it.
They had a little cage for their trash to go in, so they may have some bears up through here, too.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Would not surprise me.
Yeah, all kinds of wildlife.
Okay, well, we survived the wilds of the Appalachian Holler.
Yes.
Anyway, I guess we told where we're at, didn't we? This one's in eastern Kentucky. It's in the border of Letcher and Pike counties. So, just so you know. I don't know, I don't know, it's fun for me to drive through a holler. I don't know why it is.
I know.
Even though there's a lot of similarities, there's enough differences to make them all unique. Like this one, I love where it crisscrosses back across that creek.
I know, like you said, that's more maintenance, so most of the time you don't see them exactly like that.
Yeah, somebody put some, there must have been a really good reason for that. Because these are running right along the path.
Flat land and that kind of thing. How much flat land do you have on this side of the river?
Well, we finally did it. We finally explained what a holler was, didn't we?
We sure did.
Once again, I'm